my wafflers, and I hope you are all having a wonderful morning. It is Thursday today, so the week has just about come to an end, and I have to say I'm so glad because it's been a very long and tiring week indeed. Well, I intend to spend today doing some gardening. A very kind lady, the crossing lady actually, at Maxwell's school gave me some beautiful bulbs to put into my garden, and I have to say my garden is looking quite sad and sorry for itself at the moment. It's quite woeful indeed. So she has given me some wonderful bulbs to put into my garden, so hopefully they will have come up by the springtime, and I'm really looking forward to doing that. So it's going to be a bit of gardening and pottering around the house for me today, which I'm going to enjoy very much. As you can see, there's some beautiful autumn leaves there in the background there. It's just a beautiful day today. It is quite cold. You can feel that winter nip certainly in the air. Winter is on its way, but a perfect day to do some gardening. So I hope that you're all having a marvelous day and that you've had a positive week, and I hope today is going to be just as positive as the days that have gone by. And of course I'm going to start doing some gardening, and I'll get back to you a little bit later. Well guys, the bulbs are in and ready to go, so I've just put those in the ground. Hopefully they will come up in the spring. I'm not much of a green thumb, so I don't really know how it's going to turn out. Hopefully, fingers crossed that it will be all right, because I certainly would love to have some very pretty flowers by the springtime. But anyway, we'll take a look and you can see for yourself. The garden is rather barren and not looking its best, of course, because we are verging on winter. But hopefully by the spring we're going to have some very pretty flowers. Yes, well there they are there. So we have, actually I'm not exact, we have some daffodil bulbs, I think. We have some agapanthus and some other bulbs. Actually I can't remember what they're called. I think they might be called nightshade or evening shade or something like that. And if that's incorrect, Pam, then I'm dreadfully sorry, but I actually can't remember what they're called. But anyway, while I'm mentioning Pam, the crossing lady, another big thank you to Pam once again for giving me these wonderful bulbs, which I have now put in the garden bed. So thank you very much, and hopefully that will provide my garden with a bit of colour this spring. I certainly hope so. And also another thank you to another friend of mine by the name of Vanessa, who also gave me some wonderful plants a couple of months ago, or a month ago. I lose track of time, I really do. So there they are, they are doing well so far. So hopefully by the spring, this dreary old garden bed here is going to be a mass of very beautiful flowers and lots of pretty colours. I certainly hope so. Guys, I got all my garden sorted out, which is absolutely marvellous. I've got all my bulbs in, which I'm very happy with. So thankfully it has been a successful gardening effort on my part, I have to say. So fingers crossed that the local cats in the neighbourhood don't dig up my bulbs and use my garden bed as a toilet, which makes me very cross indeed. I wish people would keep their cats inside of a night time. Or the possums, they're another problem here, I'm afraid, I have to say. But anyway, as I said, fingers crossed, by the springtime I'm going to have some wonderful spring flowers, which of course I love my garden so very much. Although it's looking a little bit woeful at the moment, I have to say, very sad indeed. Although as autumn ends and we start coming into the winter months, everything does look rather sort of barren anyway. That's just what happens during the winter season. So that will be good when I have some wonderful spring flowers. I've also just gone over some of my books. I've had a look at my book collection, thinking about what book I'm going to review for today, and I think I have selected the book which I want to talk about today. It is hard because I have so many books. I have quite a large book collection, so I am looking forward to doing our book review. And of course, I've had a few people ask me as well, why has the channel changed? And of course, thought I should mention that again. The channel has changed because of copyright breaches, and it's just been very, very difficult for me, I have to say. I do miss the way that we used to have the channel with story time. I did enjoy doing that very, very much, but I'm afraid it's just too difficult, and a lot of work goes into the editing of the videos. Even though they only run for 10 minutes, there's a lot of work that goes into them. So of course, if someone thinks you have breached copyright, of course, and they demand that you take the videos down, it's very, very disheartening and very, very disappointing indeed. And I'm sorry about my shirt. I've just finished work for the day, so I'm still in my work clothes. But of course, that's how it is. This is YouTube in its raw form, and the reality of it, I'm afraid, unfortunately, I don't have the luxury of doing YouTube full time, so I have to have a day job as well to pay the bills. But anyway, that's why I'm in this rather disgusting polo top. But anyway, enough about that. I've selected the book for today. The garden is looking very promising, I have to say, so I'm very, very happy with that. And of course, I have to find where Stinky is, and then we will have our book review. So I'll see you in a minute. Well, you're certainly in a chipper of a mood today, aren't you? Yes, you are. What's that? Did I have a good day at work? Yes, I did have a good day at work. Thank you very much for asking. I most certainly did. And it does help, Stinky, that it's a beautiful autumn day and that sun is shining, and I am enjoying that, I have to say. Did I get the gardening done? Yes, I did. I've got lots of bulbs in. Hopefully the possums will leave the plants alone, and that the pesky cats in the neighbourhood as well, hopefully they won't be digging them up and using my garden bed as a toilet. I certainly hope not. Well, thank you guys for joining us just in time for the book review, and I'm happy to say that the book that I will be reviewing today is called Living with Mum and Living with Dad. And thank you, Stinky dear. I looked at a lot of books and I decided this was the book that I wanted to review for today. And of course, the author is Melanie Walsh. And this is a cracker, Stinky. I have to say, an absolute cracker. And that's right, guys. That's how I'm starting off with the book review. This book is wonderful. I think it's a very, very good book, and of course it is a bit of a touchy subject with some people, although I don't know why that is, because of course that's just the way some families are these days. Families are all different. Some are very, very tiny, some are very, very small, and of course for some children that is the reality of it. Sometimes they spend time with Mum at her house, and sometimes they spend time with Dad at his house. And of course they might have an extended family with lots of other extra brothers and sisters as well. A bit like the Brady Bunch, I suppose you could say. How marvellous. Lots of wonderful kids to play with. Anyway, what I particularly like about the book is the way it is delivered into a wonderful story, but it really does get the point across to children that it's okay. It's okay to have two homes. It's okay to live with Mum, and of course it's also okay to live with Dad as well. And I just think it's a beautifully written book. The illustrations are wonderful, and of course it really goes into quite a great depth of how it is for some families, and it really does get the point across to children that it's okay, because families, of course, Stinky, are all different, aren't they? This family's very different. Yes, it is. And why is it different, Stinky? Because you're a mouse, yes, and your two brothers are human and you're a mouse. That's right, they are, and your big sister as well. We're a bit like Stuart Little. Yes, I suppose we are a bit like Stuart Little, except you don't have a fancy red car to drive around in. Do you think you could have one? Yes, well, we'll have to see. I don't know about you driving to school in a car, Stinky. I don't know. I think I'd worry myself sick. But anyway, I'm waffling on and we're getting sidetracked. I'm losing my train of thought here. Wonderful book. I highly recommend this one. And if you are going through a difficult time at the moment at home and you can relate to this book, then perhaps this is the book for you. You can, of course, buy this book online, or of course you can go to your local bookshop. It is a very, very good one. A bit of a touchy topic, as I said, but really I think sometimes it's good to mention those books as well. So this one is a good one, Living with Mum, Living with Dad. I like this one very, very much. I think it's a splendid book indeed. And of course, it's one that I'm glad that I purchased to have in my book collection. I think we only read this one once or twice, Stinky, didn't we? Quite a long time ago. Yes, when our channel was when our channel was different, that's right. Things have changed a lot since then, when we started Storytime. But it was a very good book and one that I did enjoy very, very much. So of course, it does remain, will this end up in Fiddlesticks the book bin? I don't think so. No, this one definitely is not going to end up in his tummy. So he's going to be very, very hungry indeed, Stinky. Perhaps we could feed Fiddlesticks the possums. Yes, well, if we could catch one, perhaps we could. I'm quite sick of them, I have to say. They are wrecking my plants. Anyway, mums and dads, this is a cracker. If you know someone who's going through a hard time at the moment and can relate to this book, perhaps this is a good book to purchase for some children that you know. But definitely a very, very good book indeed, and this one will be spared from Fiddlesticks the book bin. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's book review and of course everything else that we've been getting up to. If you like this week's vlog, don't forget to subscribe, give it a big thumbs up, and of course don't forget to pop in a comment or two if you feel like it, because we'd certainly love to hear from you. And as always, my dear ones, until next time, take care and see you soon.